Welcome. So, came across Stephen Burns, his channel, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Not to say phenomenal when this is the recent subject matter, but even like like this type of subject matter coupled with this, awesome. I love it. Plus, clearly he's doing the things like so. Pardon me, sir. But yeah, so anyway, before I get just looking through his channel and distract myself, that's just kind of basically he was presenting evidence to suggest there's anomalous basically earthquakes will build stress load will build, and then earthquakes will happen to reduce the stress load, and then earthquakes will occur when the stress load builds. And basically this video is talking about the several different forms of stress load that are being induced right now, and especially peaking at March 7th, and he's a geophysicist. Crazy. Not crazy, but crazy. Wow. I noticed this video also got a bunch of views. Like, so he's blowing up right now, so that's cool. Which probably is important, honestly, because the subject matter is important. Like, he's showing, here's the earthquake in Turkey, and here's what's going on in the Schumann resonance. And some, I forget what exactly, qualities, M1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 different Schumann resonances, bands that are like the almost bass lines. I'm trying to envision what's going on here, and essentially it's like stable frequencies that my interpretation is maybe it's very connected to the fluid that is flowing still, like causing earthquakes that flowed like through here. It's flowing this way. Basically, it flowed through here to cause some earthquakes here, and then up through here, and maybe over to basically straight across this way, like past this boundary to here where there are some earthquakes happened. I believe something of that nature, generally like this way. From over here, though, like energy that came in here and then kind of went along this boundary and then down to here. So that there's currents flowing, but like currents, and he said a lot of interesting things. One of them was that earthquakes are tied to the tides. I was like, dude. First of all, yes, the tides, that's awesome. Like, let's bring up Google Earth. Just the tides. But like, this probably has tides too, these fluids. They're probably experiencing generally the same tides. So that when it's high tide for the ocean in a region, it's also high tide for the currents that are flowing beneath the crust. So I thought that was highly likely from that. Also, he pointed out, it's a tidal dependence. And then the Schumann, like the resonance has been extremely high. He was pointing out, like, I don't know, but he said in his multiple years of, I think 3 years of looking at this data, this is extremely anomalous, or at least anomalous. I don't know extremely, but I mean, he's saying guaranteed to happen from a geophysicist, so he probably sees it as very anomalous, even if I don't know. But so like there's a lot going on in the data right now. Plus there's the switching of the sun's magnetic poles, changing of the poles, which occurs every 11 years, I believe. Every so often, which is really a short cycle. It's anomalously short, I would say. I don't know what to make of it. Given that the Earth is thousands of years, it's very short, I would say. And also, then there's this, which he's describing in this video, and in this region of the video, that the magnetic field of Earth has these, the magnetotail, which the moon goes through, and as it goes through, it causes a current, like a circuit that holds the energy and causes it to come back to Earth, so that essentially Earth is influxed when the energy that passes the sun, or passes the Earth from the sun, is then sent back, because the moon is in the tail, to then return to the earthen part, to basically add flux to the Earth. So the moon is about to enter that phase, which is just another, so the tides, the moon, not that the tides are necessarily anomalous now, but the moon, the sun changing. Here's the demonstrations. I'm trying to think what else. Like it's very persuasive. I was already not sure. Like this kind of data, he went through it. I can't go through it very well. So I would just say, if you're interested, to check out his channel in this video, which I'll for sure link this one. I also watched this one, or is that the one? Yeah, I also watched this one, and this one's a good one. So then I commented, oh, great analysis. Speaking of things adding stress loads, I got a sneeze. It was right there. It was right there. I've found personally in the news aspect of like quantity of the storms in California, of just the rain for like weeks on end. They got like tens of inches of rain for weeks on end, across weeks on end. And then this blizzard in LA that just happened, which to me, like, my thoughts were, that's weird heat exchange, or energy exchange, or like extraction of energy, somewhat method of dissipation, where like as the imbalance increases, maybe, which he talks about. So maybe like as the imbalance increases, we see an increase in like wet cooling things to cool the region of like snow, heavy rain, and just heat exchange. Bring something to bring either water or cold water, so snow, to heat exchange with the underbelly of the crust through the layers somehow. Maybe not the totally underbelly. I don't know if that seems a little too far, but I mean, maybe there is something of that nature going on where they're like, it's subtle, but it happens. It's not like actually fully exchanging to a point where it stabilizes. It just is like showing precursors, I would say. That's what I was thinking when I saw those. So then this, on top of that, like I'm a little concerned, honestly. What is happening? Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know what's happening. Like I don't know what's happening. I don't know in terms of like if everyone's just having their own experience and that's what's happening at its deepest level. And over time we can communicate things and connect and become more at one with each other, or if like you guys are all me in a future life that know that and don't tell me because we understand that and blah blah blah. Like the spectrum of possibility that I entertain that leaves me saying I literally don't know what's happening. So I don't know if we're all seeing things in first person and truly living this in this life only in this moment with no access to other lives that maybe our deepest self lives across its eternal, infinite spectrum of being that makes us all one, but also like we're all living our own lives. We're all completely separate and distinct with boundaries that sometimes can have energy exchanges and cause earthquakes, maybe. Even in conscious ways, I guess. So my thought is, just for reference, I don't know, but like, basically, like this is a slab of the crust fractal, a fractal nature of the crust, where like this is basically North America, say, and like over here is California, and maybe it's more like over here where it's got support structure like this, but it doesn't have this particle dense system, a core nucleus system to support it. So it like just like here, it's not like right here is pretty stable because it's physically atop this. But over here is it could physically do like this. But like California is probably more supported like this, but it also this is probably pretty representative, honestly. Like here's California. This fault line is maybe more like over there or something, and then there's just support structure. It's not like utterly hanging free. It's resting in just a more subtle material that can physically, by the pressures above, like as this system's weight just pushes down and rests on the system below it, it basically can induce a current to cause things to flow away from that pressure point, and then over time cause like a porosity and then collapse, which then leads to the support system no longer being able to support the structure. So, like for instance, here's California. Here's the support structure that, if you notice, down Baja California, it runs down the boundary here, and then it continues through here. Like, this is a major spine support structure, and these are like little pressure points that help support the overlying crust that behaves very much in this nature, with many of them like this, but with like networks that at times become more like this. Like, we can even see like nodes just along the way. But here's California. Down here is kind of supported. Down here it's got some support. I don't know why this region, this is LA, right? Here's LA. That was this region. LA is like here. Like right there. It makes me think like currents. It's kind of like I was just talking about from Turkey going down and going across here from here. Here's Turkey. I know it's hard to see. Turkey. Here, generally. And then across there to, or across this way to along this boundary to then go down here. Generally across here though, to hit this like block that it then stops along. But then my thought is, if it stops along, it also like goes up and pushes into and maybe influences the terrain, and so like this earthquake. Which reminds me, this earthquake right here, 51.13, 98.3. 58.13. 98. Oh, it's not where I thought it was. Wait, what? Oh, did I say 58? Yeah, okay. I was like, what? 51.13, 98. 51.13, 98. Around here, basically around here. So my thoughts are, if we look back this way, there's this curl coming in. So maybe it's related to like an inlet flow that flowed into this chamber here, but then got kind of focused down here and caused like a pressure on the region that then led to earthquakes. Maybe, I don't know. Like the fluid flows in and like exerts the energy against a back pressure of the earth, which then causes earthquakes. But then the current is running like into more and more building pressure until the current then like releases the pressure and flows in a different direction, and then the earthquake stopped. Maybe something happened of that nature there. I don't know. But I don't know why that wouldn't create more widespread effects. I don't know. But in short, though, it seems like the inlet here into this chamber, which I noticed is, again, here's Alaska. So if like energy is propagating like across here, or maybe just straight up across this way, it's possible, I was thinking, that all of the currents are flowing in the opposite direction to how they flowed when the Earth was expanding, so that now they tend to flow this way. Let's say there's one flowing up this way, maybe. That then just continues across here and flows into here, maybe wraps around here this way. I don't know, around this way, maybe. Through here. I don't know. Then out this way. I don't know. See, this is from Yorkshire fossil shale fall ichthyosaur bones. I talked about this one before. I was just kind of thinking maybe just looking at that might pop something in my head. Nothing popping up. What in the... Whoa. Okay. But yeah, so I didn't finish what I was saying. The last... I noticed this. I mean, it doesn't mean anything necessarily. I wonder... Last rain... Oh. 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 Hard to find good data. Hard to find good data for stuff like that. I'm wondering in 1989 if there was also Noticeable amount? No. That's season? That's for one season? Nope. This is LA. It's too specific. We need Northern California, I guess. I didn't put in LA. It's all that's coming up is LA. Let's see. Not that much. I'm looking for like 20 inches, 10 inches, 20 inches, or whatever this was. Not this much, but something more substantial. One day, 5.5 inches. Okay, LA did get a bunch of rain. There's this assumption that there's like no porosity of the earth. Like this is also flowing into the actual earth and like going into like there. I don't know if there's caves. There must be caves. California caves. Yeah, like it's definitely going into the earth itself and absorbing it. That's what I mean by like a saturate. Imagine like the difference between a towel and a saturated towel. I know it's a towel versus a state, but it's also a lot of water across the state. So it's feasible that if it can contain the water, that it will weigh more and be more at risk, but also like maybe energetically more stable because that's what's gonna happen. So it just like stabilizes. I don't know. Pardon me for like predicting anything. I'm not predicting. I'm a little concerned. I don't want to like act like I'm predicting it. I'm just talking about it. It's certainly concerning. And maybe it is so concerning that, like, as he says, guaranteed to happen. And he even says, I noticed plus or minus 3 days. I was thinking like a shallogram that it would be like at the very boundary of where the current flows. Like, I'm trying to find a picture. Any of them would be good, but it's like this. Like, it tends to flow to the boundary Let's see. Or like this. Like here is the boundary, because a current is more at the boundary than like in the middle. It just spikes through this like this place that I don't think I made a video about it. Oh my god, did I not? I don't think I made a video about that yet. Okay. This place I saw someone talk about on Reddit, which got me checking into it. Like, whoa. If I can find the right video.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video guys para ma-update kayo lagi sa aking mga travel vlogs dito sa Taiwan. So, see you on my next vlog. Bye-bye!
Little man, this is Mark, Peter, Boons of the Land, Oi. So this place is in Taiwan, which is conveniently related to, so here's Taiwan. Or no, I'm sorry, dudes. What in the fuck, dudes? Here's Taiwan. You know, things happen, you know, that's Hainan. Okay, pardon me, guys. I knew it was over here. I just hadn't seen this one that I would have been like, oh, yeah, it's that one. Okay, here's Taiwan, but if we look over here, this right here, kind of follow it to here, and then just go back this way to generally over here. And if we go to this map, which I hadn't even noticed that this was there. That's pretty interesting. I don't know what to make of it. It must have just caused a fracture in the crust because the current was so strong there. So a current was coming across it this width, this way. In part, some was also going down this way, but a portion's going this way at this boundary that's visible right here. Into Taiwan. Through that little thingamajig here that's about there. And then to the tip of the Mariana Trench. And if we follow the other side, it goes through here, over here, to the opposite tip. So basically the arc, like a race car going around a turn, the momentum carries the current to like push into the boundary at the outer edge. So it flows along the boundary portion more this way. And so the boundary, like this shallogram, like this kind of thing, has a current going through it that's this place. As you can see, there's these little channels that this big old wave, when they hit the channels, let's just look around. I don't have any specific, here we go, this right here. I'll slow it down even. See them like coming to life. It just keeps reaching. Maybe I shouldn't play it slow so we can really see the some of them I've seen the waves crashing, and then this didn't show it that well, and then the current like through the channel just spikes in velocity. Like it has a noticeable change in its speed as it goes through this conduit. And that looks like it's almost like falling in gravity. I don't know. From like to a free fall, and then it's pushed back up though. I didn't see it in those. Am I making that up? I don't think I'm making that up. It might have been a specific video. Either way, it's really cool. And the point is, this region was at that place, which also is like, if we go over here, Shaligrams, Damador Kund. This place, where there's a Shaligram feature that has etched lines from currents that flowed. Okay. What was I talking about exactly? This place is epic. What? How unique is this? I don't know how extensive this is. It might be a pretty small patch. I don't know what to make of this place. For sure, this one, there's like channels that repeat. I think here, that are like, I'm pretty sure like long, they basically it takes a plane and then it dissects it perpendicularly almost and into these other planes that then interact energetically between them as current flows that then induces like actual complex shapes of shallogram type shapes that are energetically like fractal systems. So that's probably related to what's going on here, like a current going through the stone that's so intense that it physically dissected it into these like elongated things. I don't know. Where are they? I mean, they'd be really straight. What I'm saying, they'd be so straight, probably. They would almost be too straight. I don't know what this is. It's a reef. Reefs become so complex because it just becomes so complex. As soon as we start talking about biology, and I'm like, well, is that really biology? That's when it's like, oh, maybe we don't want to listen to you anymore. It's like, well, Not like, oh, that's so cool. See that it goes through the channel and then it physically hits a resistance. Boom. Erupt. Like a volcano. And like if there's something above, like a layer above it, erupt. Psh. Maybe like an earthquake, I don't know. Whoa. Très chic. Okay. I did clips. This one. Just all of these like like going into the channel and then up, erupting. So I called it eruption channels in the clip. This is from Lin Johnny. So that's probably a good lead in to shallograms. I found some more images of shallograms. This one really intrigues me because it's so much. It reminded me when I saw it of the last video I made, this Ammonite region. That I drew. I don't have a picture of it. But something more like this kind of way, where it's got this straight long side and then a rounded side that kind of goes like this. And maybe even aspects of this, like here and here. This one maybe like down to here. And then with the upper one maybe here, and this thing maybe here or something, I don't know. With this out like here. I don't know why this one didn't have anything resembling the ear type things there. Well, because they're not the same. Are you sure, dudes? Are you sure there's not any reason to compare them? Not saying they're identical, but like here, maybe, or no. Where would this be? This one looks like all the way up to maybe here. But then on the same stone is this. This is the same stone. Same stone. This one I found really fascinating. Like, what's going on here? Why is this shell bending inward? That's not what they do, right? I went too far. went too far. This is what they do. Let's look at some examples. Just like whatever. All of these, I guess. Like they stay straight a lot of times. They'll go straight, like flat. Sometimes, other times like back here, they'll be thinner and then wider. Other times, they'll do like steps, like here and then here, here and then here, and so on. But this, it's from a current standpoint. Like imagine there's a current flowing out this boundary, and then it physically runs into some other resistance, some other current that then pushes it this way, like earlier. Or actually, this is probably somewhat. I think whatever's going on here is so, in this whole stretch, is so anomalous. I guess it could be maybe explained, but relating to something like this probably explains why it's happening, in part. But in an actual sense, not in a fossilization. Like, it doesn't make sense from a fossilization standpoint. Straight up, boom, boom, and then stops. Just, that's good. Not, but it like bends a little too. This, to me, the way this does, like, it goes over and then goes up and immediately bends again, and then it's just like off the rock. So I feel like there's a current that was going up this way and then over this way, and then it kind of just escaped. Like, because some other current was pressing on it. I don't know why this rock, this one, would have, because I don't think there were any other features on it that would like indicate some mechanism to push, like physically, like a two interacting fields, to push one field over so that it would induce this like asymmetry in what should be symmetrical. Like, it should be. For instance, like, what is going on here? This one's incredible. This proves they're not fossils. This proves they're not fossils. This proves they're not fossils. If someone wants to explain how a fossil produces bad wave structures that move towards the fossil's boundary, that are not part of the fossil because they don't flow with it whatsoever, so they're just kind of there. And then this, just hanging out for some reason. If we want to say like they're broken pieces, but like, what's going on here? Like, why is this broken piece? Like, did it just like, just kind of moved, and then this one kind of got left there. I guess it's feasible that someone could argue that this was here, this was here, this was here. Still doesn't make sense. It's all janky. It's not actually like formed. It's too like imperfect, like a diamond. It's not perfect. And then all sorts of things going on this rock. These things, straight lines, chunk that got like broken off. These are like parts of big shellograms almost. What is happening? Another one. This one has dendrites in like a gold, in the gold specks that are around like this. But just here, I find that incredible. I think I already talked about that one before. This one is how is a fossil doing this? Is our explanation for this legitimately like some creature etched this pattern? Like a perfect pattern that's continuous, like it doesn't. Why would a creature move from here, go over here, go this way, like around, back, and then back to the same spot? It doesn't make any sense. Don't make no damn sense. Don't make no damn sense. It's because it ain't so. Ain't so, ain't so. Some more dendrites. Some more really like strong like current came in, etched the thing, and then just seizes at a boundary. Like no signs of erosion doing this. This is so just like abrupt. If we wanted to say like what was within it just eroded it and is gone as the explanation, again it comes back to like what shell is doing this. We're just, anytime there's a piece like this, we just say, oh, broken shell. There's no actual like thing to learn from it. But if we say every time one of these happens, current induced it, then it's like, oh, okay, so then how is this happening? And it's like opens the door to more questions rather than being done. Shell's gone. There was a shell. Shell's gone. Next question. There was a shell. Shell's gone. Shell gone. Doom. Boom. Boom. Ain't no thing. That reminds me, I compiled yeah, he was talking about this in the Schumann resonance video. This one, Stefan Burns was. The Schumann resonances, what are they? Pointed out that there are 5 Schumann resonance frequencies that occur simultaneously, that are occurring generally, that are like the 5 modes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. Also, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what that means. And also, I don't know what to make of this. The 2 ends. Like, why is... What's up here? I don't know. I just kind of just figured there was a reason these were purely what mattered. But I am curious what's going on with the rest. Also, this seems... maybe like it's pointing to trends more than absolutes. So here, this is from that video, is mode 1, the main Schumann resonance, I think, is here, I believe, and then 2, 3, 4. I guess that's how it is. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Although he showed 5 here. I don't know. Maybe these are just frequencies that they tend to stabilize at. And there's so much to it. There's so much to it. I almost need to do a reaction video to like allow the information to be discussed and then be like, plus also these are my thoughts. Because if I'm just talking about it, like Mars, I think about the future of Earth and it being an excited particle that could become an unexcited particle, and its poles could shift by being Gurnar, maybe, and maybe wherever the South Atlantic anomaly ends up being, wherever it's moving towards, that is not antipodal to Mount Gurnar, and so would cause like an instability, because I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen when the Doom shape returns. Oh Lord, oh Lord. I think Joe Rogan might be trending because of the Russell. Oh, what? I guess that just happened. I don't know. I thought it was the Russell Brand interview. That was a good one. That was a good one. Uh, pardon me. I get so easily. Oh, piece of candy. So I started posting these. I don't know if there are these in like actual shells. I don't know. I know there's dendrite structures in actual shells, but I'm saying internally like this, like it's very like there's an outer. It's just, presumably this creature has an outer shell. That's its outer shell. So this is really its inner shell, and I'm not sure that any creature has a inner shell like this that it's closed off pretty much, presumably from all sides, closed off, but has a dendrite structure around it and it lives around it like that. Maybe, but I'm not completely sure that such a thing exists. But certainly they exist in the shallograms, which I find interesting. That, again, fractal, so it's like a dense solid one that has the dendrites, and then a subtle shell that can also have dendrites. But actually, maybe that's because it's more ammonite-like. I don't know. Then like some of the shallograms are not that ammonite-like. Like this component, I don't know. So I posted this one over and over from somewhere. Probably from the shop. They're all from the shop, except some of them that are not. But I'm pretty sure they're the recent ones. I think I was looking through Etsy again and might have a couple from Etsy recently. But so here's like this dendrite sphere. I call it a squished sphere. Like that's kind of how I visualize it, like a sphere that then gets like compacted to then become a squished sphere, like a donut vortex. Like it really is like a toroid in this instance. But like a squished sphere toroid, because the squishing is done by the chakras that then have the toroidal connection points, maybe, that then produce the donut toroid between it. But it doesn't always do that. Like here's another case where it's doing that with these like lines. But then like here's a sphere. Here's a sphere with the the outer shell that had the lines kind of gone, and then within it is another. It's more. It looks like it's almost more smooth here. Like if this came off more completely, maybe it could have left behind something more of this nature. Maybe not quite like this. This instance probably was pretty unique circumstances necessary to produce a really smooth sphere like this, but in this case, it didn't do quite that. Here's another sphere. Then more centers with no dendrites. So here's another one. There's a little bit of that like stuff going on in there, like some kind of current of material was flowing through the overall material. Again, another one with the lines as well as the outer edge having like it's missing a chunk. Another one, this one again without the dendrites though, but with like little nodes, two top and bottom halves with nodes. This one split in half with the nodes more distinct, and probably some nodes back there. Maybe, I don't know what's going on in there, but this one's real cool. I definitely got the dendrites. And it looks like it might just be the angle of the rock. It looks like it's spiraling sideways and like curling. I don't know. I just noticed this is kind of eye-shaped. And it made me think, I wonder if there's other signs of like a current through this way. I don't see anything though. And then again, this dendrite one. Some more spheres. No, this one with the smooth side. That's really interesting. And this one cut in half with those steps. Real smooth, like squish sphere. Squished, elongated system that's not really spherical looking at this point. Sometimes the sphere can be missing and instead just splattered all around this opening shell as it opens. This one, it shows it like uncoiling, stuck in an uncoiling state with like a snake dragon type of look going on here. I wonder if there's nuances to that one. And the shallograms are pretty sweet. Here's them, like the sphere thing, pretty much producing. I guess it was maybe more round and then it compacted, and as it compacted, squished, it like blew out the sides. But especially in this way. Here's one in the middle of this long rock, which on the other side has real cool, like, jagged etchings. Triple tiered with more of that. And then the supernova one that left behind the gas cloud. I don't know exactly why I was talking about those. I honestly thought I had more shallogram pictures to share. I definitely took this one. This one I thought was interesting because it's a cross section of a shallogram, so they literally cut it and then polished it, and it's got this like teardrop. Like the geometry is incredible. teardrop, and then wave, and then a 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 wave. And it's almost like a wave going forward that's hitting a wall and becoming a wave going forward, hitting a wall, and then maybe spiraling down. It's really incredible. Yeah, like if a current's going this way though, and it hits a wall, like some wall, and bends this way, and hits another wall, and just like is forced to bend and then hits a wall over here and just cycle through until it literally is back, then it would produce some sort of boundary with itself, like here and here, by flowing into it like this. And maybe it just reaches a maximum pressure that it can induce and doesn't go any further, but it just like creates the structure in the process also in cases like this of shallograms and ammonites and so on. I've never not seen any like that. Ammonites. Let's go to ammonite at that point. That's interesting. There it is. That's what I was curious to see. This is not. Whoa. Ordovision. Whoa. Whoa. Like currents of energy inward, but it grows outward. Like that kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. Like it's growing outward, like this way, but it's producing current flows inward in appearance. And in this case, it's an actual living creature. And the siphuncle here down the middle is more like a living creature, whereas a current just goes along the boundary preferentially, making them distinctly different. Although we just say that they're different species, like they're different in that way. Like some of them do that, some of them do this, blah blah blah. Goniatidic. That's cool though, it does have that little teardrop. So the teardrop is an indicator. I wonder if this type of chamber would be worth looking around for, like the structure, the skeletal structure of this, in cases like here. Like maybe this is the teardrop. I don't know. that then flows around it. Oh, it's a tiny teardrop. It's gotta be tiny. That's way too big. What is this? What the? Whoa. What? Just a jet. Where is that going? Follow you. It looks like it's got that kind of same jagged shallogram thing like here. Like after the straight section. That maybe goes all the way down here. That's interesting. It's like a... Whoa. It's like a nucleus maybe over here and here, maybe like atoms, some kind of fractal structure that occupies a certain space of volume that these are like the nucleus of, and each like maybe this here is like maybe like the water table of certain regions or something. I think I said that right. Whoa. So this is flowing out this way. Oh my god. It's still doing that. That's crazy. What? Got a road down that thing. Then it kind of stops here, which means it probably spread out a bit. Oh, yeah, it's probably spread out a bit into the lake that then bust through the Grand Canyon when it drained. Grand Canyon formed by lake. Research gate, request full text. See what's up. Almost. Almost. Oh well. Let's see what's up. I forget why I was interested in this. That's the problem. I mean, vaguely remember. I think I just wanted to find dates, honestly. There's some dates in here that are pretty long ago. I find it strange. There's I don't even know what to search for if not Cretaceous, honestly. Archeon. Alright, well, that's whatever. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, anyway, let's get back to... Let's just check this out some more. This stream... Where is it? Like, what in the... For sure is coming along here. Coming along here, and it broke off this way. Wait. Doesn't even make sense, does it? Like this looks like... It's coming in and then over, up, across, down maybe. And there's this coming straight through. Oh. Maybe. Does this? Bend off the mountain? I'm just wondering, does it bend and go down here? I don't know what to make of this. Fuck. Looks a lot like the place I was just looking at in Taiwan. Could this have been a coastline? Like where the water drained to at some point and then stabilized at some point for enough time to really, I don't know, I would produce. This really strongly suggests a current this way, but I guess if it was a coastline and the current was generally flowing along the coastline too, like up this way, I think the Gulf Stream or whatever goes this way. So it ultimately, even waves going this way would like go like that to move in that direction. I'm so distracted because that is incredible. I can't think of anything to compare it to. The Andes or something that's straight like that. But that's not comparable. That's totally different in terms of what exactly happened to make them. Oh, I got a little distracted, huh? I'm just kind of ranting now. What to talk about? Probably call it a day here. I'm trying to think if I had anything else I wanted to talk about, because initially I was like, I got all these things to talk about. I'll make a video about this, video about that, video about that. Then I realized as I started making this that I think I've covered everything that I wanted to hit on, like shallograms. The earthquakes and Taiwan. Coming back here is kind of bonus, honestly, I guess. I don't know. Wasn't really intending to. Let's see. Whoa. Goes this way, this way, this way, this way. Like, could. I lost where I was even looking at. Center of this ammonite looking thing here. Found out this is black lava. Whoa. Right next to the white sands at the end of this ammonite here. That clearly had a bunch of water involved because it drained out this way, but also maybe led to separation, maybe helped in the process to lead to some things coming over here amassed in piles. I don't know. Okay. Clearly, I should go to bed. Peace out. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time.